Hello, friends. Pastor Amy here from Southgate United Methodist Church. It's Wednesday, February 22nd. This is the last week of Black History Month, and this is our last group of extraordinary individuals that help teach us something about Black history in America. We've been kind of working our way chronologically through these individuals, and this week we'll include some individuals who are still living. Today, Wednesday, February 22nd, is the day that we are encouraged to learn more about Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He's probably the most well-known of all of the folks in this resource. He has his own day to celebrate as well in January. He was a Baptist minister, a scholar, social activist. He was a key leader in the civil rights movement in the 1960s, working to end segregation in the South and elsewhere. He was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's nonviolent approach to protest and social change. He incorporated those nonviolent principles into his own organization and actions during the civil rights movement. And also he received the Nobel Peace Prize when he was only 35 years old. At that time, he was the youngest individual to receive that award. For the 23rd, tomorrow, you're encouraged to learn more about Muhammad Ali. He was a professional boxer as well as a social activist and philanthropist. He won the World Boxing Heavyweight Championship 3 times, and over his 20-year career, he won 56 matches and lost only 5. There was a 3-year hiatus in his career when he was banned from the sport and had his title revoked because he refused to respond to a draft to serve in the Vietnam War. Then he returned to boxing in 1974, continued boxing for another 10 years, after which he got involved in charitable causes, supporting things like Parkinson's research, Special Olympics, and he became the UN Messenger of Peace in 1998. On the 24th, we celebrate Ruby Bridges. She is still living. She's a civil rights activist and philanthropist, and she got her start in civil rights activism when she was 6 years old. She was the first African-American child to desegregate William Frantz Elementary School. At 6 years old, she was escorted into school by some U.S. Marshals. That appears in an iconic photograph that also was then translated into a painting by Norman Rockwell. She is now the chair of the Ruby Bridges Foundation that was formed to promote the values of tolerance, respect, and appreciation of all differences. And she has also written 3 books. So that's Ruby Bridges. On the 25th, which is Saturday, we celebrate Dr. Mae C. Jemison. She is a doctor, engineer, and astronaut, also still living. She has multiple degrees in chemical engineering, African and African American studies, as well as medicine. And she was the first Black woman in space. She was the science mission specialist on the Endeavour in 1992. Now, every week I've been having a challenge question, right? So this is your challenge question. If you come to me on Sunday with an answer to this question, you get your choice of Southgate swag. We have beanies, we've got a baseball cap, and we also have plenty of these cups, and they may just have some baker's chocolate in them too. So if you come to me on Sunday with an answer to this question, you get to pick something. The question is this. Shortly after Dr. Jemison had her historic flight in space, was the first Black woman in space, what TV show did she make an appearance on? All right, so what TV show did Dr. Jemison appear on after she went to space? So let me know that on Sunday. All right, for the 26th, we celebrate Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is an astrophysicist, and he's played an important role in popularizing astrophysical concepts and discoveries, and he also has the dubious distinction of taking part in reclassifying Pluto as a dwarf planet. So, Some people don't like that, but he follows the science. He was appointed to the Commission on the Future of U.S. Aerospace Industry, also the President's Commission on Implementation of U.S. Space Exploration Policy, also known as Moon, Mars, and Beyond Commission. So that's Neil deGrasse Tyson for the 26th. On the 27th, we celebrate Venus and Serena Williams. They are sisters and professional tennis players. Between the two of them, they have a combined total of 30 Grand Slam titles and 9 Olympic medals, along with many other distinctions and championships. They've made inroads in a sport that traditionally has been dominated by white athletes, so they've inspired a lot of younger athletes as well. That is Venus and Serena Williams. So February 28th, the last day of the month, as we continue to move forward in African American history, we celebrate Amanda Gorman. At age 22, she became the youngest inaugural poet and America's first National Youth Poet Laureate. She gained that distinction when she recited her poem, "The Hill We Climb," at President Joe Biden's inauguration. She's also the first poet to perform at a Super Bowl. She's also the founder and executive director of a nonprofit organization that promotes youth literacy and leadership through creative writing workshops. So that ends our journey through Black History Month, and I hope that you have enjoyed as much as I have learning about these unique individuals and their contributions to American history and culture. Something else to keep in mind today is Ash Wednesday. Today, February 22nd, is Ash Wednesday. That's the beginning of the season of Lent. So we'd love to have you join us today at 7 p.m. in our sanctuary for our Ash Wednesday service. The ashes were actually the kids from church helped me on Sunday to prepare the ashes for today. So no, they didn't get to play with fire, I promise. They were very worried that I would get burned, though. That was very considerate of them. So anyway, we have ashes prepared for Ash Wednesday. Then this Sunday, we start a new series for Lent called Seeking, Honest Questions for Deeper Faith. And so in the lectionary scriptures throughout Lent, each of them have questions that either Jesus asks or somebody asks of Jesus. And so we'll dive into those questions more deeply. We'll interact with them. We'll use those questions as ways to grow deeper in our faith, because the opposite of faith or doubt is not the opposite of faith. Asking questions is not the opposite of faith. And in fact, asking questions is what helps us to deepen our faith. And so we'll be exploring that throughout the weeks of Lent and into Easter. So friends, that's all I got. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and remember that God loves you, so do I, and I'll see you Sunday.